You know, there are a few things that are happening. I'm hoping someone can try and explain them to me. So people were saying that the attacks of Hamas cannot be justified. That's great. But now they're using this attack to justify the siege of Gaza, the cutting off of water, the cutting off of electricity, the cutting off of the internet to children, a population, and the massive carpet bombing. So to explain to me how one thing cannot be justified and another can be justified. The other thing is, how come world leaders who have been pounding us with this idea of free expression and international human rights law, how come they're the first to ask Twitter to censor things about Palestine? How come they're the first to ask to say, when they're asked, what about the civilians in Gaza, they say, Israel has a right to defend itself. As if the right to defend yourself gives you this whole license to break every kind of humanitarian international law. Aren't these the same people that want to uphold it? So I don't understand it. The other thing I don't understand, Ukrainians have been occupied by Russia, or Russia's trying to occupy them, and they occupied parts of them. And they are equating Hamas, who is resisting the occupation, to Russia. Well, Ukraine as well has done some violations, but you don't see them going up in arms about them like they do with Hamas, and they don't recognize the whole idea of occupation. I don't understand it. I got someone telling me about, well, if it's beheadings of little babies, and then we must do something about it. And that thing is wiping out Gaza. Really? That's not even journalism that reported about the babies. This is the worst screw up. And how come no one's holding the president accountable for lying about seeing evidence of babies? Well, that doesn't matter because it's so deliberate. This is not a mistake. There are directions to politicians not to say ceasefire or calm. I just don't understand any of that. How are people saying these opposite things together? Civilians, we are against the attack on civilians, yeah, but not Palestinian civilians. We've seen James Cleverly, the UK Minister of Foreign Affairs, really silent when Palestinians were dehumanized by the Israeli official next to him. Dehumanized. They were described as not even human. Don't talk to me about them. And I don't understand. Has the world accepted that racism is normal, to not equate the lives of people? Why is there such an imbalance? And look at Germany. Germany is banning Palestinian symbols. They're arresting little children, right? Just for having a kufaya. How is that not the same practices, similar to the practices that were happening against Jews? Jews are the first people who understand what it's like to be targeted and to be left behind. Gladly, a lot of Jews are speaking against this, but they are called self-hating Jews, anti-Semites themselves. I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. What is this world coming to? These are all questions in my mind, but I think the real idea is that if you don't hold up values for everyone, then you're just another racist. Look at yourself in the mirror. That's how people justified whatever happened in the Second World War of mass extermination. People were thinking they were doing it for the right reasons, nationalism, what have you. This cannot be the case. This cannot be the world that we live in, but maybe it is.